Hi, this is Gary Dumas with the Dumas Company. Please like and subscribe our page where our focus is emotional fitness. One of these days I'm going to do a video and I'll actually have some clothes on, but usually early part of the day is when I'm in my flow. But at any rate, wanted to share with you this. Let me ask you a question. Do you know anyone that needs to make some changes in their life and they're just not making these changes? Well, one of the top reasons why is because of what I shared last week from San Francisco, the 5 stages to change. The first stage, which is what I'm going to talk about now, is called the pre-contemplation stage. That's because that stage exists to identify people who are not convinced that they have things or ways about them that needs to change. They're just not convinced of it. And we don't want to judge anybody for it, to be critical on it or anything, or accusatory, anything like that. They're just not convinced that there are things about them that needs to change. So how does a person become convinced that there are ways or things about them that needs to change? Well, you got to look at the evidence. You have to look at the evidence. At some point in our lives, when we get certain outcomes over a certain period of time, we have no choice but to recognize that perhaps we are the issue. Perhaps we are the ones that need to make the change. Now, what can help a person arrive at that place is the response and the attitude of the person that they're communicating with. That's why you can't be accusatory and come off condemning and things like that, because that'll prolong the possibility or the opportunity for them to realize that, you know what, I'm the problem. There's things about me that I need to change. There's attitudes and beliefs that I have that's been reflecting through my behavior that's been creating outcomes that are totally unacceptable. That's been creating outcomes that are just not in my best interest. So that's called the pre-contemplation stage. So I'll be back next week to talk about the contemplation stage, and then we'll continue on with the remaining 5 stages of change. So first stage is the pre-contemplation stage. That's the stage where the person believes that the experiences that they're having is all due to everybody else's behavior but their own. And so in order to help them to come to that realization that there are things about them that they need to change, you have to show them the evidence in love, not accusatory, not in a way that's condemning. You have to allow them to see the error in their ways based off of the fruit that their behavior has produced. I'm Gary Dumas. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.